Hey, good morning, Monday. Good morning, Monday. Happy Monday. Good morning to you. Can't believe it's Monday. Again, it's another Monday. You get another Monday. I get another Monday. This is going to be a good message because it has to do with failing. And I know what happens on Mondays. A lot of times people wake up and they think, gosh, I failed this weekend again. I didn't stay on track. I didn't exercise. I got lazy. I'm right back where I started. I don't have a plan for the week. And let me just share with you, if you are afraid of failing, if you have a fear of failing, this message is for you. Really, truly, because I'm going to give you the number one thing to help you with failing. Number one thing that you can do to overcome failure. And it's this. Failure. Having failed at something can be your number one thing that you can use to help you get over the fear of failing. Because I don't know if you're like me, but I'll play the first to put my hand up to let you know that I've failed many, many times before. And while it wasn't fun to go through failure, I failed in school, I failed classes, I failed in college, I failed in businesses, I failed in relationships. I've had many failures. And again, this is not to have a Debbie Downer kind of moment and share with you my failures as I mention those and openly say it, is I would say one of the biggest things that has helped, number one thing that has helped me overcome my fear of failure is actually failure. Is actually knowing that even despite maybe making mistakes, failing, having, failed attempts and all the things we were just talking about, just briefly, is that life still moves on. You can still change the direction, the path that you're on. You can still actually succeed even after failures. In fact, I think I can be pretty confident in saying that because of the failures I've went through is actually due respect to the success that I'm having now, because I've realized that you can either do one of two things when it comes to failure. You can either face everything and rise, or you can fear everything and run. And I know, and I've done this before, in the times that I've led down the road of fear and running, it never served me well. But if I've faced my fear, if you have fear about this week, if you have fear about maybe staying on a healthy plan, if you have fear about maybe exercising for the very first time, if you have fear about going into this next month or two and fear that you're going to put even more weight on, is you can do two things with that fear. You can fear everything and run. You can run from it and just hide from it. Be afraid of it, or you can face it. Face everything and rise. FEAR, the acronym, F-E-A-R. Go write it down. Face everything and rise. And the best way to do that is to not kind of scramble on your own efforts, to get some help. At the end of the day, the number one thing you can do, as I said this in the beginning, is the number one thing you can do to prevent yourself from failing more is to prevent yourself from being afraid of failing is actually failing. That's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, failure being one of the probably single most beneficial things that has happened to my life, because it's given me the time where I can actually face it and move forward, have to redirect, have to pivot, if you will, that being kind of a trendy word this year, having to adjust, adapt, to stay alive, right, and to thrive. And that's my vision for not just my own life, for you, is that if you are afraid, if you have this fear of failure, if you're afraid that you're going to fail again, is first, don't be afraid. Second, realize what it was that caused that failure before. So let's just say for weight loss, and maybe you're in that stuck struggle mode right now, and you're going into a new week, you're going into the holiday season, and you've been in a bad place with your weight. You haven't been exercising, you feel lethargic, you're kind of running on empty, you're running on fumes, right? And you know it's a holiday season, which isn't going to make it any bit better. And you're just don't know what to do, right? And you're afraid to fail again because you've tried that diet, you've tried that gym membership, you've tried all the things, and you're afraid to fail again, and rightfully so. if you go down the same road that you were traveling before, chances are you're going to end up failing. But if you travel down a new road, a new direction, if you face everything and rise, and how do you rise above your failures? How do you rise above your fear? Well, for me personally, what's helped me get through my failures is look for the support that I've needed, look for the help that I've needed. Now in school, how did I face, let's go through the couple of things where I failed real quick. When I was in school, how did I get over the fear of failure? How did I get over my failures in school? Well, I got around the right help. I got the right teachers in place. I had the right setting in place. I was able to adjust and adapt. And guess what? I ended up finishing high as far as on the list when I achieved. I had like a 3.9 GPA. And it was after learning and adapting and shifting and getting around people that I knew. I even had to change schools, which was great. You know, I actually failed out of college and I got back on and I stayed with it and I faced it and I rose above and I ended up succeeding. Same thing in business. I can just share with you, 5-6 years ago, I almost gave up fitness altogether. I almost gave up this whole career, coaching and fitness and training, something I've been doing for 20 years. And my gym was failing. And what did I do to get through that time? What did I do to overcome that fear? Well, Mark, what if you fail again? This online, you've never done online coaching before. What if you fail? What happens? What if, right? And yes, there was some fear, I can tell you that. But how did I overcome that fear? I got around and surrounded myself with people with the support that I needed to help overcome, to help face that fear so that I could rise up above that fear. So the way to do it, the number one ways to do it is to first acknowledge it, that there maybe is things to be afraid of, right? It's okay to be afraid, but it's not okay to stay there. And the hard thing is you get stuck being in the state of fear. And I want to encourage you now is to face everything and rise. Maybe you need to get a mentor or a coach around your corner so that you can face everything. It's a lot easier to face your fears when you have support than it is to face them on your own. Or the other way you can go is to fear everything and just run from your problems. At the end of the day, you're going to have to face them sooner or later. So I hope this message helped. I hope you understand the number one thing that you can do to face your fears and failing is to actually fail, but then to learn and grow from those mistakes and to move through and move forward and beyond. So I hope you have an amazing week. Take care. God bless. Talk to you soon. We'll see you soon.